That's the problem. We shouldn't be getting used to this.
5 deaths and no arrest. What Stockton neighbors are saying about a violent weekend in their city and what investigators are trying to find right now.
This was an illegal takedown that failed.
No collusion. I'm breaking down the Attorney General's summary of the Mueller report, and we're going to take a look at what's next.
Winter storm warning. How long will the wet weather stick around in the valley, and how much snow could we see in the Sierra?
One of a kind. Local students are being recognized for their work as the only ones in the nation using a special kind of technology.
Live from the ABC 10 studio, Morning Blend starts right now.
All right, it is 6 o'clock on a Monday. Clocks that go tick-tock may soon be a thing of the past. Schools in the UK, they're getting rid of digital clocks, or they're going digital and getting rid of those old analog clocks, kind of like what you see on the screen. Yeah, nobody wants those anymore, right? Why are they doing this? They say because students can't read them. I might just teach them how to read it. I don't know. Okay, so it is a fortnight era, and we are just living in it. Good Monday morning. We want to know, what item or skill do you use that is now considered old school? Walt is wearing a good analog watch right now.
Let me show you a little trick that the watchmaker does. You see my clock right there?
Yeah.
It's 10:10. Do you know what? You go into every clock store, and they have the watches set at 10:10. Do you know why?
Why?
Because that's a smiley face, and it's a subliminal to make you happy to get you to buy.
Really?
You go into stores, and when you see 10:10, that means it's a smiley face that makes you feel good. That's what they do.
Well, see, now
that's completely different than what this was about, but I just wanted to say that.
No, but see, we won't be able to get that anymore because they don't have those analog clocks anymore. What are folks saying on Facebook?
Keith says, I'll teach you how to read a clock if you teach me Common Core math.
Oh, that's too tough. That is too tough.
Nobody wants that, Keith. Sorry about that.
All right, so we want to know what you think about all that. In the meantime, we are Morning Blend. We have the Daily Blend, all the news and traffic information and weather that you need to know. In 5 minutes, Rob, get us going. When's the rain coming?
Okay, the rain.
I wish it would stop. I just wish it would stop. I don't want to see this anymore.
She's talking about a memorial that's growing this morning for 3 teens shot and killed early Friday morning sitting in their car. They were the first of 5 people killed over the weekend in Stockton. We've learned the names of those teens: 19-year-old David Canary, his 18-year-old sister Tiffany, and their 18-year-old cousin Remilio Castillo Rivera. No suspects have been named. Police believe the shooting was gang-related.
Yeah, I'm thinking about my kids in that car. My reaction is that they're all our kids. It could be any one of our kids.
Certainly feel the pain there. One man in his 20s was shot and killed outside of a McDonald's on Martin Luther King Boulevard late Saturday night. Another woman in her 20s was also left in critical condition. And hours later, yesterday morning, a mother in her early 30s was shot and killed outside on Volney Road, all happening before 4 in the morning. Stockton police are sending out their neighborhood community impact team to all of these neighborhoods over the next few days. The team is made up of officers, chaplains, volunteers, and other city leaders. All right, let's take a look at more stories making headlines right now. Bringing a gun to school. This morning, officers will be at Rockland and Whitney High Schools. This after an 18-year-old student, Jacob Clark, was arrested on a complaint of bringing a firearm to the Rockland High campus. Officers found a gun and Clark at his home on Friday and took him to the Placer County Jail. Dangerous fun. One person is hurt this morning, but expected to be okay after being hit by one of the cars involved in the South Sacramento sideshow on Saturday night.
When you have people watching these sideshows and they are in harm's way.
Police are now searching for the suspects involved, specifically the driver in the felony hit and run. Far from over. Now Democrats are demanding a full look at Special Counsel Robert Mueller's findings on the Russia investigation. The Justice Department says there's no evidence the president conspired or coordinated with Russia to influence the 2016 presidential election. But the question of whether Trump obstructed justice is not so clear.
All right, so let's talk about that story because it is what's trending this morning at 6:06. Yesterday, Attorney General William Barr, he released a letter to Congress summarizing the nearly 2 years of that investigation into Russian collusion and the Trump campaign. So we're going to take a closer look into what we know about Mueller's report. First off, this 600-plus page report has not been made public. So this morning, we're asking the question, do you think the entire report should be made public? 83% of you right now are saying, yeah, but here's what we know about the summary. The summary is only 4 pages long, and it breaks down the conclusion into 2 parts. First, the Russian interference in the 2016 election. It says the investigation, quote, did not find that the Trump campaign or anyone associated with it conspired or coordinated with Russia. Now, the first part goes on to say the investigation did, however, find two different attempts where Russia tried to sway the election. One way by spreading lies on social media, i.e. fake news. The other, hacking computers and getting political information. Now, the second part of the letter is about obstruction of justice. And according to the Attorney General, Mueller's team did not make any judgments in that case. It says they didn't find sufficient evidence that Trump committed a crime, but they didn't really exonerate him either. So according to the Mueller report, no collusion and no charges for President Trump. So we want to know, do you want to see exactly what is in that report? And do you think it should be made public? Vote now at abc10.com/vote and let us know what you think. We'll be watching it throughout the morning, Walt.
Yeah, 86% saying, yeah, they want to see everything. That's your Daily Blend. Blender commentary. It was a weekend of checking news feeds with the Mueller report expected out. It's out. I'm satisfied considering the amount of time spent on this that the president did not conspire with Russia to influence the outcome of the presidential election. What we're left with is Trump won fair and square because that's how the Electoral College works, and his opponent wasn't able to connect with swing voters and ran a poor campaign. Didn't you expect after all this digging, the Mueller report would find some big beef? If you're a Democrat, can you now fully focus on finding someone to win in 2020? If you're a Republican, are you now all in on Trump? Or if you found him headstrong before, is this the new tip of the iceberg? There's still much debate about the Mueller report because we're not allowed to see all of it. Mueller wasn't able to approve or disprove obstruction against the president, and I'm certain that proving guilt in a crime is more important than disproving it. I'm also quite certain that this isn't the end of the whole thing involving the president and stuff he's allegedly done either before or in office. The president is polarizing, and because of that, there will always be people after him because they just don't like him. As one person said on my Facebook page, the feds were after Al Capone for years, finally got him on the much lesser tax evasion. Here's what you're saying on my Facebook page. Steve says, thank you, Walt. You always seem to make your post somewhat bipartisan. However, I don't think the Congress is going to go back to doing their job, which is legislating. Dave says, I doubt many will change their mind. We are so divided as a country right now. And Cheryl says, does it matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat? Let's move on and work together for the better of the people. I'm so over this divided country. Thank you all. Many, many comments and shares on my Facebook page. Leave me a comment today on my Facebook page, Walt Gray News.
And we're getting so used to it. That's the problem, is we shouldn't be getting used to this.
5 people are dead in Stockton after a string of shootings. What police are saying the motive of one of them could be.
A Sacramento woman in need of a kidney transplant gets a second chance at life. How a stranger was able to help save her life and 4 others.
Pesky mosquitoes are out and they aren't messing around. In today's Begley's Bargains, I'll show you cheap hacks that will save you from getting bit.
Live from the ABC 10 studio, Morning Blend continues right now.
Yeah, that looks like an analog clock. That's an analog clock if you didn't know. You know, typically people get used to the clock on their cell phone looking digital, kind of like that. Yeah, but they're getting rid of analog clocks in the UK, saying that kids don't know how to use them. You know how to use an analog clock, right? You know how to use this one?
I learned a long time ago.
A long time ago. I can't believe that kids don't know how to use it. But we're asking the question today, what item or skill do you use now that is considered old school? Yeah, I remember calligraphy. Cursive writing isn't even in school anymore. Like, what's up with that?
Rotary phones. You don't see those anymore anyway.
Wait, remember the party line?
The party line. Wow, where did you live, in Arkansas or something?
Lived in
yeah, you did. Wow.
Head on over to our Facebook page and let us know what is old school that you used to use all the time.
Wow, they just have party lines in Arkansas, right? They don't have anything else?
No,
still? All right,
party line was old school by the time I grew up.
Let's get to your Daily Blend, all your local and national headlines. Brittany, so no arrests after 3 different shootings in Stockton left 5 people dead. Here's what we know right now. Just after midnight Friday, 19-year-old David Canary, his 18-year-old sister Tiffany, and their 18-year-old cousin, Remilio Castillo Rivera, all shot and killed sitting in their car. This was at Finland Avenue near F Street. Police believe the shooting was gang-related.
Then, after 11 o'clock Saturday night, a man was killed and a woman in critical condition after a shooting near a McDonald's on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Early Sunday morning, officers were called to a shooting on Volney Street. A mother in her 30s was shot. She died at the hospital. Stockton police say they do not believe these crimes are related, and they are expected to organize walks around the impacted neighborhoods in the coming days. Kirsten?
6:34 right now. After a nearly 2-year-long investigation, Robert Mueller concluded that there was, in fact, no collusion between the president or his campaign with Russia. Attorney General William Barr released a summary of that investigation yesterday, and now Democrats, they are demanding the full report. Barr says he's going to sit down with Mueller and Deputy Attorney General, that is, Rod Rosenstein, to see how much he can make public. All right, so let's talk about some other stories that are making headlines.
Powered by Xfinity.
Welcome back to Morning Blend. Your time, 6:44. Here's what's new now and next. First, what's new? An early morning rocket fired from the Gaza Strip hit a home in central Israel, wounding 7 people. The attack prompted Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to cut short a trip to Washington. This comes just 2 weeks ahead of Israeli elections. It could prompt military retaliation. Here's what's happening now. Sac Metro Fire looking for this man who they say intentionally started a fire at the 76 gas station at Watt and Fair Oaks Boulevard. If you know who it is, call the arson tip line. The number is at the bottom of your screen. And here's what's next. You still have a chance to win the Powerball since nobody won Saturday. The drawing will be this Wednesday night, worth $750 million. The lump sum cash payout, $400 million. And then, Rob, you got to pay taxes on that $400 million. So really, the $750. Wow, good story. Thank you, Kirsten. Your time now, 6:52. Here's what's happening on Morning Blend. What's brewing locally this morning? Stockton police investigating 3 different shootings that happened over the weekend. 5 people were killed, and a woman is in critical condition. Police are now looking at gang relations to at least one of the crimes committed. They're expected to organize walks around the impacted neighborhoods in the coming days. They believe that all of these crimes are not connected. This morning, a person is recovering after being hit by a car watching a sideshow in South Sacramento. Police are looking for the suspects involved. This happened at a busy intersection of Pocket Road and Alma Vista Way Saturday night. Any information, please call 911. Brittany, what's going on?
All right, well, American Idol kicked off Hollywood Week last night, TV, online, and with our ABC 10 lasers, guys.
All right, did you hear about this?
This is what everybody has been talking about. The Mueller report, it's been turned over. We have the 4-page summary. It is available, but a lot of people want to see all 600 pages of Mueller's report. We've been working on this thing, or they've been working on this thing for almost 2 years. We're asking the question, do you want the entire report to be made public? Right now, 81% of you are saying, yeah, you want to see it. You can vote. Let us know. abc10.com/vote.
It makes sense. I think both sides, no matter where you are, you'd like to read. Obviously, a lot of it's redacted, but you want to see a little bit more because there's still a lot of buzz about, well, we don't know about this, we don't know about that. What do people say?
You know what? Our friend Sam said the same thing. I just want to read it for myself and make my own decision, and then I'll feel better about it.
Okay.
Which
Rob?
I love.
So, Rob, when's the weather starting?
I think that it's going to be here by noon in Sacramento.